welcome back to another episode of our life seasons where we talk about the raw and honest truth to navigating through the different seasons of life. I'm your host, Wen. If you've been loving the podcast episodes, you already know it. Please do leave a review of this podcast on whichever platform that you're on and let me know which topics are your favorite. Now let's get straight into today's topic on the common denominator to all your unhappiness, to all your problems in life, is you. Okay, here's a warning. This episode is going to be a lot like other episodes where it's gonna be tough love. Okay, the whole entire Our Life Seasons episode, if you realize it's all about tough love, it might not be something you want to hear, but I can promise you that it's something you need to hear if you want to change in your life. Okay, so this episode is only for you if you're ready to look at any situation that you feel stuck in and take responsibility. It's not for the faint-hearted. Okay, if you're looking for gentle parenting or sugar-coating way to get around life, I'm sorry to say that you may leave now and come back when you're ready for some tough love, because in Our Life Seasons, we're not about gentle parenting or rather like sugar-coating everything. I'm more about the tough love and giving you the raw and honest truth, which is why every single time I start a podcast, I always say that it's about the raw and honest truth to navigating through the different seasons of life, right? So seriously, there's nothing wrong with wanting a little bit more care and like to absorb knowledge through a more sugar-coated way. I think that's fine. Everyone has different ways of actually taking on advisors. But what I want to say is that Our Life Seasons is not a platform, or rather not a space where if you want sugar-coated stuff, yeah, we're not for you. Okay, so all right, now for those of you who stayed, I hope you're ready for some honest truth. With all that said, I just want to make something clear. As much as this will be an episode that attempts to change your subconscious mind and weed out all the unnecessary negativity that is stopping you from feeling better and from truly enjoying life, seeing the good in life, I want you to keep this one thing in mind as you listen to this episode, and that is to not blame yourself for having any of this negative mindset, okay? Remember that in order to change your circumstances in life, you got to have to move on from the past and let everything go, because what worked in the past will not work in the future. So have that at the back of your mind, and let's get into what you're really here for today, okay? You already know it from the title by now that today is the day that we will be re-looking into every part of your subconscious mind. So let's start from the foundation to your being and life, which is the stories and narratives that you have been holding on to for God know how long. Okay, and this is the remote control to your life. Because as much as it is common for us to think that we are constantly operating from our conscious thought, we are actually not. Okay, it's proven that 90% of our behavior is directed by our subconscious, while only 10% of the decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis are run by our conscious mind. So think of it this way, right? Just like a data bank, our brain takes in information through our senses every single day. So we see things, we hear sounds, we experience emotions, and all of these form memories. This constant stream of data shapes our subconscious that stores this information and make connections between it, right? It creates patterns and associations which constantly influences our thoughts and actions. So when we face a certain situation, our subconscious mind actually pulls up relevant past experiences and emotions, right? Shaping our decisions and feelings in ways we might not even be aware of. So example, if you have a very bad experience with a dog as a child, it might be stored in your subconscious mind and influence your behavior around dogs today, which is you avoiding dogs or feeling a sense of fear whenever you see one, right? So this is not to say that we should be we should be operating from our conscious mind, because as an example, we learn how to walk, right, when we were very young, like a very long time ago. So we don't need to actually dedicate conscious processing power to it. So walking becomes like a subconscious behavior, and we don't even need to try to change that, right? That is a good thing, that this action has become a part of our subconscious mind so that we can actually make our days more productive. We can be more productive and focus on other components in life that requires us to be more mindful about, right? Like the things that will actually make an impact in our life. So, and this should not be new to you if you have already been with Our Life Seasons for some time now. Our stories and narratives, as mentioned in episode 51, are the key deciding factor to why we make certain decisions, which boils down to the subconscious thoughts that we have. And this part is where we don't really pay much attention to, which is also the very key to start shifting everything in your life. What we should aim is to achieve to look at all these narratives and stories that we have developed over time that has become a conscious thought that has an negative impact on our lives, one that no longer serves us and has become a detriment to our life, looking at all this narrative and be able to achieve this sense of like calm and peace, knowing that it's okay to have all of this, but you're choosing to walk away, right? So if you are still struggling a lot with your subconscious mind, or rather just understanding your subconscious mind, understanding all the narratives and stories that you hold on to, I would say episode 51 would really, really help you. Okay, so if you have not listened to episode 51, please go back and listen to it before coming back here. Alright, so whatever that you see in your life right now is because of your past decisions that is operated from your subconscious mind. So in order to shift your reality, you gotta first clean out all the subconscious thoughts and experiences that are no longer serving you, right? You choose to rewrite your story and you choose to rewrite these narratives. So it's not easy, I'll say that, but even setting the intention to look into your subconscious mind is enough to impact at least 20% of your life, because we don't know what we don't know. But when, like right now, as you learn how to look into your subconscious mind, as you learn what are stories and narratives that you have been holding on to you, and that is detrimental to your life, things will start to change, right? That is where you can actually start to make changes in your life. That's where things will start to shift in your reality, just because when your attention is spent on clearing out and decluttering all this subconscious mind, trust me that your reality will start shifting with it, okay? So you may be asking, okay, cool, now that I know I need to change my subconscious narratives and stories, how do I even do that? So here's when I want to share with you how you guys can actually do that, okay? I want you to acknowledge that you are the answer to everything. Yes, you, no one else but you, especially now that you know how your subconscious mind works. You know that no matter how lost you feel, you always have the answers within you. Because if you are placed in a situation, you are also given the answers. That is something that I completely always believe in. You just need to quiet your subconscious mind and find the answers from your conscious mind, okay? You are with you everywhere you go. So technically, you're experiencing yourself everywhere you go. Our external circumstances can change, and that is out of our control, right? But the only thing that you have control over is your internal world, and it's you. Knowing this, every single time you face a trigger or situation that makes you spiral into negativity, you recognize that the answers are literally in front of you. The answer sheets to the problem that you're facing is already within you. You're just not choosing to see it that way, okay? Shift your mindset and the answers will slowly start to show itself to you. So choose to look at things from a different perspective, right? Ask yourself different questions, like instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Why always me? Try asking, what is it that this is trying to teach me? How can I actually start feeling better as of this moment right now, right? Choose to look at the lessons and you'll find it. Choose to focus on the negativity, and more negativity will come your way simply because of the law of universe, where it states that what you focus on grows, right? I want you to understand that every open developed problem that you're facing is a projection of yourself, your thoughts and your emotions. So how do you actually see yourself, right? What do you tell yourself on a day-to-day basis? What do you tell yourself that, people are probably thinking about you? Because in episode 54, I mentioned that everyone is actually you pushed out. The world and everything in it, it's simply a reflection of your assumptions about yourself and of people, which is why it's important to spend a lot of time working through your subconscious thoughts and narratives that you have for yourself, right? Whatever that you think is true. I like to always say this, whatever that you think is true, whatever that you think people think of you is true. So because our minds are so powerful that it will literally find memories, it will literally find experiences that proves your point. So you might as well shift your focus to something that's more positive. What is the lesson here? How can I actually move on from it? Then that's when you'll start to shift your reality, right? Once you weed out the ones that are not helping you, the narratives that are not helping you, the stories that are not helping you, and replacing them with a new one, where you believe that you have the answer to everything in life, you will start taking accountability and responsibility, okay? Which is the next important step to creating change in your life. Everything ties back to you. So if you want to change anything, you got to see the importance of recognizing that you are responsible for everything that happens in your life. I want you to start taking accountability and take responsibility of your life, okay? The good and the bad. Whatever it is, I want you to know that everything that happens in your life is because of you. Okay, I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's also a very important one. Everything comes back in full circle, okay? Your thoughts leads to your emotions, and that emotion drives actions, which eventually becomes your reality. And your reality plays a very big part in terms of the thoughts that you have on repeat, right? It all comes back in full cycle. So your thoughts creates your emotions, emotions leads to actions, actions will eventually manifest into reality and then repeat. So now that you see this cycle, you'll know that everything starts from your thoughts, and that is within your control. Okay, your thoughts, your actions are always within your control. So I want you to take responsibility of them. Okay, if you don't know how to, go back to episode 51 where I dive deep into the negative thoughts that we have on repeat and how to get unstuck from all of these negative thoughts that we might not even be aware of up until today. And this is your sign to start taking back your power and be responsible for your life, just because no one is responsible for your life or anything that happens to you other than yourself. This is a very, very important mindset to have. Okay, everything boils back down to you. How you react, how you think, how you feel, how you literally choose to to see whether or not you want to look at the lessons in here, or you want to look at it as being a negative spiral, like you would just spiral into negativity or use this situation as a way to just spiral into negativity. All of this are important and all boils back down to you. Okay, I want you to remember that you are more powerful than you think you are, and you hold more power than you think you have. Okay, you are more capable than you think you are. So start acting like it and stop allowing other people or your current situation to control what your future can look like. Again, if you're given a problem, you're also given the solution, and that can be reframing your narratives. Speak kinder to yourself, right? Choose a different perspective. Walk away from things that no longer serves you. Choosing to trust in the universe or the higher power or even yourself. All this are decisions that you can make to make your life or to change your life, to change your reality. Okay, I know it sounds crazy when people talk about how you can actually change your life through XYZ. One thing I need you to know is that I don't always tell you guys things that what everyone else is talking about, right? I only talk about things that I truly believe in, and this is one thing that I truly believe in. In order to change your life, the first thing that you need to look at, out of so many other things, it's yourself. It's your narrative thoughts. I can't stress this enough, how important it is for you to understand what you are telling yourself on a day-to-day basis. What stories are you choosing to hold on a day-to-day basis? Because at the end of the day, when shit happens, when shit hits the fans, that's when you will look back at all these narratives. That's when all these narratives will start coming up, and every single thing, it almost becomes like an excuse, right? And you know me, when I talk about excuses, I don't believe in us having excuses, because every single thing has a solution for it. That big solution is you have it within you. I want you to start trusting and believing that every single situation that you face, no matter how painful or how tough it might feel at that point in time, I want you to always remember this. Okay, if you want to take anything away from this podcast, I want you to remember that you are the solution. Any problem, any tough times that you're facing in life, you are the solution. You have the solution within you, and in order for that to surface, you have to start looking at yourself and be like, okay, I want to feel better. Set that intention. Intentions are super important. Set the intention to want to feel better, to want to walk away from that situation, to want to feel like, you could take on this problem and come out of it as something that, someone that is so much more powerful. That's something that I truly believe in, that no matter what situation I face, as long as I have this mentality and I know that I am given all the solutions, I would come out of it so much stronger. I would be able to learn the lessons and be able to share it with you guys, right? So mindset is really, really important, okay? All right, as promised, before I end, this is an exercise that I do to help me take ownership of my own happiness, and you can do this as well whenever you catch yourself spiraling to negativity, or when you just get triggered by a certain people or situation. Very normal, okay? Basically, do this when you feel out of balance and you just kind of want to restore peace into your life and take back control of your life, okay? So here's how I do it. I want you to start choosing an area of your life where you feel stuck or unhappy. It can be a new situation or one that you've been stuck in for a very long time and you just can't seem to get the way out of it, okay? Today is the day where you are gonna get out of it, okay? Maybe it's financial stability, or maybe it's finding a partner, loving yourself, making friends, or maybe it's a career part of your life, right? I want you to choose just one area that you want to prioritize for the next 3 to 6 months. Write it down. If you can't think of one, then I want you to ask yourself, what specific thoughts, behaviors, or reactions of yours contributed to all the unhappiness that you are facing in life right now? Is there any recurring theme in your life? Okay, example, you often feel frustrated at work, right? no matter how many jobs you change, you just constantly feel frustrated, then maybe it might not be the job. It might be something deeper within you, right? Or you might feel unsatisfied in any relationship that you get into. Same thing, it might not even be the person. It boils back down to who you are as a partner, or what beliefs you have about a relationship, right? Or maybe you feel like you don't have control over anything in life. These are all like the common themes that might be recurring in your life, and I want you to look at them and just pick one in your life to start to work on it. Okay, this should give you a clearer picture of what area you want to work on and what you want to improve on, so that it can actually improve the quality of your life, right? I want you to just choose one area, please. I know as much as it's crazy and you want to improve on everything in your life, trust me that you just have to choose one area that has been affecting you. And when you start to work on that area of your life and focus on that area, the rest of the aspects in your life will actually get better along with it. Okay, it's a waterfall effect because everything is connected back to you. Okay, so once you identify that, here are some questions that I want you to think about during your next journaling session. Okay, this is a time where you really sit down and start thinking about all these questions and really find an answer to it. I don't want you to sit down and think that, I don't know the answer to this, or I don't have an answer to it. You have the answer. All right, so number one, what experiences or situations in your life that continues to affect your happiness? How can you actually start to practice forgiveness either towards yourself or towards others and move forward? Okay, because remember, the most important part is actually for you to move forward. So this is the first question. Next question I want you to ask yourself is, what are some ways you can actually start taking ownership of your situation and work towards creating a more positive outcome in your life? Make a list of things that you can actually control and things that you can't control in your life. How can you focus your energy on the things within your control to improve your happiness? What are some like small, consistent steps that you can take to change the way you respond to a trigger or to a situation or to that particular person, right? Okay, number 3 is, what are some negative thought patterns or stories you catch yourself having? This is super important. How can you challenge those thoughts and replace them with more empowering ones? This takes time. This step really takes time for you to be able to catch on to your negative thought patterns and stories, because it allows you to be very conscious about your day-to-day. To catch yourself is not easy, but it's definitely doable. And once you get into this pattern of catching yourself, honestly, everything just becomes better, because then you start to really shift your mindset, to really start to not listen to your subconscious mind and operate in your consciousness. Okay, the last question I want you to ask yourself is, or rather to do, is to imagine a version of yourself whom you desire to become, right? One whom you believe you can actually step into her or him immediately. What qualities do that person possess? How would you behave, think, or feel differently? Go into the details, okay? Be as specific as you can, from the appearance to the values to the lifestyles. Go deep. Put your self-doubt aside for a moment and step into this version of yourself that you're so proud of, that is so worthy of everything that you have ever wanted or everything that you ever desire, okay? This version is something that I like to call either my favorite self or my higher self. This version of me is someone who I believe that I can become, and I want to become her. No one else, okay? No one else but her. I'm not saying to look at someone else and be like, oh, I aspire to be like that person. It's good to have someone that you look up to. But when I'm talking about this version of yourself, this higher version, this favorite version, is really for you to tap into yourself and be like, okay, what is the best version of me looks like? How does she or she look like? Like, what would I be doing? What would I think? How would I go through all these scenarios? Like, this is when you really step into your higher self and operate from that being, okay? So take some time to really think through these questions. Don't give surface level answers, please. If you need to revisit any podcast episodes that I just mentioned, episode 51, please do re-listen to this podcast, and I swear by this exercise, okay? And I hope that it gives you give it a go and let me know how you find it, because honestly, it has changed my life and the way that, like, and I don't say it lightly, okay? So that's all for today's episode. If you still struggle to answer any of these questions, please feel free to drop me a DM on Instagram at our live seasons, or comment on whatever platform that you're listening to, so that I can help you out. All right, I'll see you in the next one.